So obviously what I don't like, at its early stages and all the theories and no look at the interior, there's not really much I can say I don't like, so well done there, Alec. Perhaps deflector, like we said, but I mean, Stuart's ideas are, 100% right, and it would be cool to say a version, though, with a physical deflector dish, just to see. Also, I think it might be perhaps a little bit too well armed, especially if considering the Constitution was built as also a heavy cruiser close, and the armaments are quite below the Aries, especially as that was, like I said, being developed as a heavy cruiser, and one that was designed also to go against the D7. So you would think that if Starfleet was to continue along this design aesthetic of the Aries, that the Constitution would be booming with weapons, but it really wasn't. You've only released Prelude, and we're just going on that, and I love the amount of thought that you've put into it. So I should be thinking of things I don't like, but you've done so much and so little. So we like it, Alec. You win.
Plus, we got to say too that this is the preliminary. This is based just on
pre-production. Yeah.
Yeah, and once the actual show's out, we're going to redo this and try to get some actual numbers in there and flesh this out a bit more. So,
but before you do the wrap up, Stuart, because we asked Doug that one time as well. So, Alec, if you had to say the one favourite thing about the ship and the one least favourite thing, just quickly out there, if you had to say it.
My favorite thing about it is just when you see it from beneath in the front, like in our space dock picture, I just think it looks so badass. The thing, however, a straight-on profile view of it, I don't like the secondary hull.
Okay.
It looks great when it's moving, but in that schematic view, I'm like, oh, that looks a little bloated or whatever. But it looks great in practice when you, as soon as you rotate it, you go, oh no, that looks great. But that side view of it isn't my favorite. But it looks great. Every time that ship is moving, it looks amazing.
So there you have it, guys. The first real in-depth look at the Aries from Prelude to Axanar, with our speculations and thoughts before its maiden voyage in the Axanar feature-length film. It was great to hear about this ship from the man who basically designed her. Hope you guys all learned something. I know I sure did. It was fun to flesh things out and maybe add our little bit of Trekyards contribution to this design and its history. I'm sure the ship will be a fan favorite for years to come, and I feel honored to have been a part of its development, or at very least, its promotion.
Yeah, absolutely. And I watched Prelude to Axanar like all the fans did, I think, and we loved it. And having researched this episode, I've learned so much, and having the full Trekyards treatment is just such fun. And I can't wait to look at the more Axanar ships.
So now it's part of the show. It's the Versus part of the show. This is just a fun little bit we do in Trekyards where we pit this ship against something else of equal firepower. So with our special guest, this should be quite interesting. We're going to be doing 2 verses, I think. So we're going to start out. I get the Aries class, and Samuel's going to pick something of similar strength to go against it. And Alec, you're going to be our judge or our referee, just as Doug Dexter has done in his guest appearance.
For this one, Stuart, you get the pride of the Federation fleet, the USS Aries, and Sam, you have to attempt to challenge her, but I must warn you in advance, you will lose.
Thanks, Alec. No favoritism on this show, then. Well, hard decision, but I went a bit radical. I picked the Burell class, third approach to the Scout class. So I'm going to the future with more advanced technology, but theoretically a less powerful Scout ship. I've got cloaking, 100 years more advanced, photon torpedoes and disruptors, and the Klingon spirit. Kapla. So it's Stuart with the Aries and me with the Burell. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I fly in. Okay, first of all, we're fighting in empty space. You're going to do an asteroid field. You want to have some kind of terrain. What are we doing here? Because there's asteroids in Prelude to Axanar.
Yep, that's asteroids.
It's the first asteroid battle in Starfleet or Trekyards history. So,
okay.
All right, so I sneak up on you.
Cloaked.
You're cloaked?
Yep.
Well, that just ruins my whole approach now, doesn't it? Why don't you attack first then? So I'm cruising along at yellow alert because I know there's something going on. Shields are up.
There's got to be a blind spot in the sensors somewhere. A portion of the sensors that work at 95% efficiency must be somewhere. So I decloak, our weapons locked on, fire a spread of photons, fire disruptors, hit one part of shields, recloak, start moving around. You'll try and target me. I don't know. Maybe you'll use the Picard maneuver from the later one in Nemesis. Maybe you'll try and use zero elevation to fire me. But I mean, you're not used to cloaks fully necessarily, are you? I mean, you might have faced Romulan, but probably not. How are you going to find me, Stuart? Come on.
So another bird of prey can't fire a spread of torpedoes. It can only fire one. So one torpedo and
fire
two...
one or two, maybe.
Okay, and a few disruptor blasts to, let's say, my aft quarter shield, because that's a good weak spot area.
Yep.
And then you recloak. But, of course, we know the Burell doesn't have a perfect cloak.
Nope.
And we are in an asteroid field, which means there's debris everywhere.
Ooh.
Small little particles of debris. You didn't think of that, did you?
No, actually. Ooh.
It's much like the comet in Balance of Terror.
Ooh.
So we use our sensors to find a little bit of a disruption, a swirl pattern. And I don't know what's... And okay, let them do their thing. And we turn around.
Yeah.
We got you locked on. Well, we don't have a lock on, but we have a general estimation where you are.
Yeah.
Fire 4 photon torpedoes
Okay.
out of our front torpedo tubes.
And I see him coming though. I can dodge, but I mean, you probably got me at least with 1 photon there, and that's my shields. That's my cloak gone, isn't it?
At least, yes. And then a couple phasers.
Oh. You've probably ripped through my shields and my hull, haven't you now? Oh dear.
I think so.
That cloak didn't work as well as I hoped. Damn it.
Nope.
Fine, you
All
won
right,
that
so
one.
you're tumbling through an asteroid field and smash into an asteroid and you're done. So who won that battle?
Stovercore. Kapla. Alec, what's your ruling on the obvious battle there?
Well, for this, I brought in my trusty right hand, Rob Burnett, founder of the world famous Starship Smackdown at San Diego Comic-Con,
Very
which
cool.
has for years been entertaining audiences by taking 2 different ships and smacking them against each other and see who would win. So straight up, the USS Aries against a much later Burell class Klingon bird of prey might be an interesting battle.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't say an Aries class. You said the USS Aries.
Mm-hmm.
I am naturally going to assume that is captained by Garth of Isar. What do you say, Mr. Burnett?
I think that's absolutely true.
And being that we know that he is the victor of the Battle of Axanar, this guy is no slouch.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of Klingon captain is commanding a Burell class scout? This guy is not a tactical genius.
I could be a Krug. I could be, a good warrior who's just a bit renegade, who's stolen the only ship in the fleet that he can steal.
Krug wasn't one of my favorite Klingons. So
Okay.
I will say that this is going to take all of Garth's skill against a much more advanced, but by the simple fact that you decided to cloak inside an asteroid field, while you might be cloaked, the simple as was correctly, as Captain Foley correctly pointed out, the debris bouncing off your shields would have given
Well,
Garth
lack of
Isar
shields. Deflectors, not even shields, yeah.
or off your ship, bouncing off your ship would have given you away, and I think eliminated the element of surprise. Mr. Burnett?
I would absolutely agree. I mean, I think, look, you're displacing. There's micrometeorites in an asteroid field. There's not just big rocks.
Yeah.
So a navigational deflector would be sweeping stuff away. Your shields would be crackling. There would be rocks tumbling into other rocks because they've been displaced by a ship. All you have to do is follow the direction of the displaced rocks and shoot that direction.
This is a 3 versus 1 now. I think it's a little bit unfair, but okay. I think I lost fair and square.
Captain Foley and Captain Garth just kicked your ass. So deal with it.
I have, yeah, okay. So second versus, we're going to challenge Alec with the Aries, obviously, against 2 ships. Tag team, me and Stuart, both in state-of-the-art, absolutely best-of-the-line D6s.
And since we are Klingons, we don't take prisoners, except, of course, when we do, which is all the time. But good luck, and let's see if your single ship can take on the might of the Klingon Empire. Kapla!
So,
All right, so who wants to start this one?
probably us again, Stuart? Since we're the tag
Yeah, I
team,
think
since
so.
we're the mighty Klingons, come on,
Are we doing the same asteroid field or not so much?
Let's have a nebula. Let's
What do you got? Let's have a neutral.
Okay.
Neutral.
Okay, just space. We met in honourable battle. I mean, we've got state-of-the-art torpedoes, we've got disruptors, I mean, we've got 2 very well-armed ships, we've got big ships, we may not as manoeuvrable, but I mean, I'm sure Stuart can line you up and I can knock you down with torpedoes. I mean, I'm sure I can fire multiple spread. Your shields might not be able to hold up if a constant barrage.
Yeah, I'm going to be a decoy. I'm going to have low power settings. It's going to seem like I'm disabled. You're going to come in for the kill, not seeing him. Perhaps he's using the same sensory blind spot we just used before. And get a few shots off on you.
Get a shielding down. Maybe maybe Stuart will then fire back up at you. Think he's disabled. Maybe we'll take his shields down. Maybe we'll get a good hit.
Once he fires, I power back up and swing around facing you and
So are there any astral phenomena around? Are we saying this is an open space, or
Okay.
are we?
Open
This
space.
is on the edge of the asteroid field, so there are asteroids
So
present.
there's asteroids. So he might be hiding in the asteroid field
Exactly.
potentially, and there's a Klingon D6 there sitting out there all by itself. So the first question I'm asking in any situation like this is, why is this D6 all by itself? That doesn't make sense. And look, there's an asteroid field nearby. So my spidey sense is tingling at this point. And I turn to my first officer and I say, Commander Burnett, what do you make of this? And should we...
Well, to quote the great Admiral Akbar, it's a trap.
It is indeed.
No, I mean, look, if there's a D6 powered down, but there's no visible damage, there's no radiation leaking from the ship, it seems relatively intact. What's it doing?
Yeah. So our sensors are
As
sweeping
Kirk
that
once
asteroid
said,
field.
what is it, flypaper?
Yeah, exactly. So we're sweeping that asteroid field looking for it. And then we're probably launching some photon torpedoes at that ship just to see how the state of its shields. And at the same time, I'm probably firing phasers at a low intensity level into the asteroid field to both see if it hits anything and also potentially knock some of those asteroids and send them flying and cause some chain reactions in there. And
also, if the ship is powered down to draw you in, it can't power up immediately.
Right. So it is in fact a sitting duck unless we attack it in the way it's expecting us to attack. So I would find a different way to attack this ship.
The engines.
Certainly we're going to target the engines, but I would probably line myself up with its and put it between the asteroid field and myself. So any other ships that might be coming out of that asteroid field. And wait a second, D6s don't have cloaks.
No, we don't.
No, we're not closed.
Yeah,
We're
okay.
using sensor jamming.
You're sensor jamming us.
Yeah.
Our sensors are jammed.
ECM.
That does not make sense. Why would our... So
it's the
jamming
asteroid
us.
field. No, we picked this asteroid field
It's
because it has
radiation from the asteroid
a
field.
natural sensor dampening. You barely
Oh,
detected the
it's a natural
Klingons.
phenomenon?
Yeah.
Like a Mutara Nebula.
No,
Well,
that's too far. It's a Mutara asteroid field.
Yeah.
The odds would be even.
The odds are even here. So
Yeah.
I would definitely put myself in a position to come at the ship, putting it between myself and the supposedly damaged Klingon ship, between the Aries and the asteroid field. And then I would come in guns a-blazing, being ready for something, one or two other ships. We don't know how many other ships are there, but Klingons like fighting in threes. So I'm assuming there's probably two more other ships. So let's take this ship out, assuming that we're going to be facing some more. I would go in firing phasers and a couple photon torpedoes and be ready to retarget on something else. Hey, we got 4 torpedo tubes. Let's use them.
Rear, fore and aft. Also, if you strafed the Klingon ship, you came at it fast.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Because
I'm
it
not
wouldn't
coming in
have
slow.
wouldn't have time to power it up.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
you could get way beyond it before it could respond.
And my ship
Absolutely.
would be able to come in and I mean, you've probably come out of targeting range, haven't you? We can't lock on maybe some torpedoes, but asteroids are surely going to get in the way, so you've probably outmaneuvered us slightly. Stuart, plan B. What do we do?
All right, well, how damaged is my ship at this point, do you think?
Well, you've taken a photon to the reactors. I'd assume you're running at 30% power and you're just trying to power up, so...
That's fine. I'm close enough to the asteroid field. I lock on tractor beam to a relatively large size asteroid and do a high energy turn, swing it around and release the tractor beam. And it goes hurtling towards the Aries. So now you have a physical asteroid aimed at your ship.
Well,
And a torpedo for good measure, just because.
okay,
And I'm still retargeting you, so you can't just, swerve into my attack pattern. Because I'm knowing where you're going to turn, potentially.
Well, my pulse phaser starts firing at the torpedo, and my phaser banks start firing at the asteroid. But I think Lieutenant Cross, our pilot, is seeing these things coming and definitely moves us out. I mean, let's face it, an asteroid is unguided by its nature. So you can fling a rocket and we'll just sidestep it.
Did you just pulse phaser that and break one big, large object up into many smaller objects?
It's true, you did just destroy it.
No, the pulse phasers are going against your torpedo. The standard phasers are going against to pulverize that asteroid into dust. And then we're Then we're going to fly by you, probably underneath you, and start firing at the weak spots on the underbelly of your ship. Mr. Burnett?
Sounds good to me. Don't forget to use those rear torpedo launchers either.
As we pass by.
Pass by, yeah.
As I'm probably
done.
behind you as well, so you should probably just hit us both. So Stuart, you might be dead.
I think my ship's probably screwed right now, but
Huh.
you're still. I'm done. I'm crippled
you.
and I'm tumbling. So
But Alec, the question is, would you take Klingon, traitor, but who'd help you with technology, the D6? Would that be useful? Because I might be, he was my commander. Stuart is dead. I can maybe join the Federation. Would that be useful?
Are you trying to defect?
Yes.
You see the uselessness, the hopelessness of your situation.
I do. Garth of Izar.
Yeah.
Would you accept
Although
surrender?
you could. How many transporters does the Aries have?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. We haven't really set that yet, but certainly 4.
Because if his shields are down, you could just beam the crew off into deep space and take the ship.
That's always a good idea.
Well, I'm fine. You've barely attacked me. I've barely had a torpedo. Stuart's the one that you attacked twice. I'm pretty much fine.
So are you surrendering? Is that what
I'm
you're doing?
offering my services. I mean, a fully functional D6.
You're trying to go mercenary on us. Well, I would say power down your shields, turn off your weapons, and we'd be happy to come up beside you or behind you and discuss terms. But
I think it's fair to say that we lost to one of the greatest captains in Starfleet history, Samuel.
Next time we'll bring Nevars and be really unfair about it.
Yeah, that'd be really fun.
All right, guys, thanks for watching again, and thanks to our amazing guest star, Alec Peters.
And Rob Burnett.
Yes,
And
that's
Ed,
Hello.
editor, co-producer of Axonar.
great to have you on Trekyards. We always do verses at the end of each show, so that's very apropos. I know myself and countless others feel that this is Axonar is the future of the Star Trek franchise, and both Sam and myself are honored to have you guys on the show.
Yeah.
We will, of course, be doing other episodes with you all year long, building up to the release of Axonar. As usual, keep in touch with us on social media. Join the Trekyards Facebook page. Follow us on Twitter. Also, please like and subscribe to our videos. And if you want to see any past videos, please visit trekyards.com to learn more about us. And check out our huge backlog of episodes. This is Captain Foley and Samuel Cockings and Alec Peters and
Rob Burnett.
Robert Burnett signing off until next time.
Bye,
Live
guys.
long and prosper, guys.